Hello. Welcome back to my channel. This is Epi with Epi Reviews, and this is going to be my review and recap for Naomi, Season 1, Episode 2. Now, when we last left off, she was starting to ask the right questions. Who am I? After the tattoo gentleman sprouted angel wings out of no freaking where, and then the black man trapped her in the woods, and the forest came alive. So, I don't know what her powers are. I don't know where her powers came from. We have so many more questions. Let's hope we get some answers. Let's get into it, shall we? Okay, so we come right back to Naomi and the tattoo man, and she's like, well, who am I? And he was like, I'm not exactly sure who you are. I just know that you got here on that day that you were adopted. He's like, my wings, people like us who are special have a vibrational thing to us, and I could feel you when you came on that date. And he's like, she was like, yeah, because wings just sprouted out of your back. He was like, yeah, they're made out of a special metal that's from my home planet. And he told her the name of the planet, and she was like, so you're an alien? And he was like, yes. And she was like, so that means that I'm an alien too? And he's like, yes. And, and she was like, why would I believe you? And he was like, I have proof I can show you. What the proof is? The wings coming out of his back wasn't enough proof to... Okay. The wings that came out of his back wasn't enough. Okay. Daughter. All right. Let's see what his proof is. So we got no proof. What we get is, see, the next scene is her in the kitchen with her parents asking questions. How did I arrive? Was it in a plane, by a boat? They don't know. She was like, we've explained everything that we know about your arrival. And she was like, you didn't ask any additional questions. The mom is like, we know who you are. You're our daughter and we love you. And she's like, I gotta go do something about that mama. It's something about that mama. I ain't put my hand on it yet, but it's something about that mama that's off with me, and I'm gonna figure it out. The daddy says, "You're our daughter. We love you. You know, if you have any additional questions, you can always come to us and ask us, and we'll do our best to answer whatever it is." And now, then he tells her to get ready to go to school. No proof, and she is full of questions. So I don't. Let's get some answers, I guess. I don't know. All right, so baby girl gets to school, and the little boy, the little white boy who likes her, brings her some coffee, kind of startles her. And he's like, I thought I'd bring you some coffee. And then he asked her out, like, on a date or something, and she said yes. But meanwhile, she has to go meet the tattoo man at the bridge, because he said, meet me there. And to get, I guess, to get the proof. And so she gets there, and they have a conversation. And he's like, you wanted proof? Here's the proof. We're going to jump off this little bridge, this little overpass bridge. There's water underneath it. And she was like, so he's like, take a chance. Like, she was like, so your proof is for me to jump off of this? And he was like, you've never been injured in your life. You've never had stitches. You've never been sick, nothing, because you're not from here. And she was like, yes, I have. And he was like, think about it. You've never been injured. And she thought about it, and apparently she has not. So, she was like, I'm not finna jump off building. Those wings, your wing. He's like, Naomi, Superman told me, and yes, he's real. Superman is real, thank you. Because he said he fought in a war with Superman a long time ago. Now, what war this was, I don't know. I have more. This just gives me more and more questions, quite honestly. So, he's like, okay. He's like, she was like, just jump off. He's like, the worst that can happen is you create a splash, maybe break your foot. She was like, that's not minor. Breaking my foot. That's not a small thing. And he was like, okay, fine. Well, clearly you're not ready. And then he runs up and jumps off the bridge, and he floats, of course, because he has wings. And his wings come out, and he was like, "Are you ready to believe now, Neo?" Why am I so tickled by that? Okay, let's see. Let's see what happens on the other side of this commercial break. So this show has a incredibly annoying habit of leaving off at a cliffhanger and then they coming back to a different scene with no explanation of what happened. Like my man jumped off the bridge and was flying, and then we cut to she's at her best friend's house. Well, her best friend comes over to her house, fussing at her, talk about why didn't you call me, blah blah blah. And now she has these papers all over the place. She's done all this investigation about UFOs because she's trying to figure out what was the unidentified flying object that appeared in the sky on the day that she was adopted or her birthday or whatever. Okay, so they do all this investigation, and now the gay best friend and the other best friend is they're in the woods. The miniature Scooby, the clip, I don't know. This is the insular Scooby gang. Um, so they're trying to figure out about the UFO. The best friend really has what's important on her mind. What are you wearing on this date that this boy done asked you on? She's so oblivious, and she talk about some date. What date? We're gonna go get pizza, just like you and I. Daughter, it's not the same, sweetheart. It's not. It's not the same. Also, Dad has been called into the office, and they talk about the Superman incident. And Dad was like, "Oh, I thought so and so, the tattoo man, took credit for that incident." And it was like he did, but there's something else going on. We found this fabric. It looks otherworldly. Blah blah blah. The military doesn't know Superman is a real thing in this world. But I'm so confused. If Superman is real, is this not the same universe as Superman and Lois? Is this a different Earth where Superman was never revealed his identity to the world and been helping the world? Clearly, he's been helping the world and he's fighting bad guys because he had this whole incident in. I don't know. I'm confused. I have questions. I have questions and I'm confused. But I need baby girl to know that she got asked out on a date and she said yes. But all right, let's see how we get left on a cliffhanger that they don't explain the how it ties together to the story now. Okay, so she can't hold water. She done told her friends everything about the man having the metal wings and she thinking she's an alien and that's why she's on this kick. And so they're trying to figure out from the pictures of the trees they took in the woods and then the little boy who asked her on a date is the one who is doing the developing the film, even though why would you okay. All right. And so and she asked Nate to come over to help her with part of this particular project. She's supposed to be getting ready for some if you were a some class situation project where if you're supposed to be a Greek god, which Greek god would you be and why and all that other stuff, and she not really paying attention. And so the townie boy who really likes her and asked her on the pizza date says to her when they're having a conversation about this whole thing, he was like, "There's this guy named Steve, and he went into the woods to look find stuff like right as it happened, and they said something happened in the woods, and he ain't been right since. And so now they're gonna go talk to Steve about what he saw in the woods." I'm trying to hold on. Listen, 3 episodes are out. I'm gonna review all 3 episodes. I, I need y'all to pick up the pace. I need y'all to pick up the pace, cause okay. Okay, so they talk to the man, and he tells his story of what happened, and he was like, they were in the woods. They heard all these voices. They saw this bright light, and then the next thing you knew, he was back at the car, and they was like, "Oh, well, we didn't see anything out of the ordinary at Falls Creek." And he was like, "Falls Creek, the crash didn't happen at Falls Creek. We were a couple of miles away." And she was like, "Oh my God, that's it. We've been looking in the wrong direction." So they're gonna go, I guess, try and figure out where this actually happens, so that they can figure out more to her origin story. Probably in the next episode because this is taking forever. Okay, let's go. This love triangle is tired, and so am I. Um, they figured out which logging mill to go to, uh, because it wasn't really on the map. So she had the logging mill diary where all the mills were, and there was one 3 miles away from the creek. So they figured that's where the crash site is. Um, Nathan, who's coming in late, who missed the she's an alien memo. They're gonna catch him up in the car on the way out there. Um, Cause he got there, he was like, "What's happening? What's going on? Why is he here?" And she's talking. We talk about the little white boy who likes her, um, and I think she likes him. And he's like, she's like, "What are you doing here, girl? You invited him over because y'all have a school project," which she forgot about. And so he's like, "I'm still your friend. You can still talk to me." So the Scooby Gang unites, and now they're going out to this creek. I want to say, I I wish I cared about any. I'm waiting for it to pull me in, for it to draw me in for something amazing, I guess. But I'm not. I want this to be so great. I want this to be so great, and it's giving very mediocre. And I'm trying to hold on. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. Okay, so the children, again with no parental supervision, is out in the dark in their car. All five of them to go out to this meal in the middle of the night, and so that car was on its last legs and it breaks down. So they said, "What do we do now?" They all sitting on the side of the road. So they call the purple haired girl. So the Scooby Gang is complete for them to all to go out there. It wouldn't be complete without purple haired girl. So now they're out at the mill and doing an investigate. Let's see what they find out. All right, so the Scooby Gang gets to the meal, and her spidey senses start tingling, and she sees the markings that was on the disc on one of the walls. And then the car dealership man show up, and he was like, "Everybody get out except Naomi." And there's like, "You must be smoking the finest of ganja if you think we leaving our friend." And she's like, "No, I'm Zeus. I got this." Da da da. Purple hair girl gets her mace. She's like, he jumped Froggy, aim for his eyeballs." Exactly. And so they have everybody leaves her, and they have a conversation. And he was like, she was like, "What happened here all those years ago?" And he was like, "Nothing to do with you." He's like, "Stop messing this stuff that you don't have no idea what it is." And she started asking questions, and she started to manifest the telekinesis where she picks up stuff and is like in a tornado around her. And he was like, "Good, much more focused than when you were in the woods." And then she started asking a bunch of questions, and he went and blew her across the room. And he was like, "Mind your damn business. It's for your own good." What does that even mean, sir? Ugh, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. We'll see. We'll see. Come on, let's. I know I'm exhausted, but this is making me tired. Okay, so um, the her and she has the conversation with the little black man. I guess he lets them all go, and they go back home. Purple hair girl drops off the little white boy who wants to go on a pizza date, and Natalie, her name is not Natalie, and Naomi gets out of the car too. Um, they have a conversation, and she was like, "I wasn't aware that when you said you wanted to go out for pizza, you meant like that." And she was like, "I'm not saying no. I'm just saying not right now because I got a lot of stuff going on." And they're okay. He's a little hurt, but they're fine. So the parents have a chat, and there's like, I don't understand what's going on, blah blah blah. They're oblivious, but they're not. The daddy not about to be. The daddy goes into the chief's office and he gives him a UAPTF card. Then he tell him, "Welcome to the unidentified alien task force, whatever." Why he gave him a credit card to signify that, I don't know. And he was like, the Superman incident is just one incident in a long line of incidents. We believe Superman to be an alien. So strap up, nigga, cause we finna go figure out what the hell going on. So, and they said, he's like, "We believe aliens are already here. We're gonna find them. That includes your daughter." So meanwhile, baby girl has gone back to the tattoo man's, and she was like, "Thank you for helping me. Thank you for telling me the truth." Blase bloom blue blue. And he was like, "Okay." And then they begin her training. And so at the end, she takes a running leap off of the building, and he looks over the side, and she was like, huh, "No splash." And that's how the episode ended. Okay, so I am trying with all of my might to like and get into this show because there's not very many shows. I want this show to be bigged up. I want, representation is good. But I'm trying, like, clearly I have an affinity for Superman, and they keep mentioning him in here. And I'm watching Superman and Lois, and I'm trying my hardest to get into this show. Superman and Lois has a well balanced show between the superhero stuff, real life stuff, teenagery shit, all of that. This feels like it's kind, I don't know, the pacing seems off to me, and then they leave scenes, and then they never come back and touch on what happened. What, like, it should have been a continuation instead of cut off. So listen, I'm gonna try and stick. I'm gonna try and stick with it. I'm gonna do episode 3 tomorrow. Hopefully that'll be a better episode. I'm trying to get hooked in. So maybe it's because I'm exhausted right now. I am mentally and physically exhausted. So maybe that has something to do with why I'm not readily jumped into it. Tell me what you guys thought of this episode. What have you thought of the season so far? Is it just me? Is it moving slow? Is it kind of boring? What's going on with y'all? Y'all let me know. Let's test the temperature of this show and what we want to do with it. Like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend, tell a kin. I will catch. I can keep hair out my damn mouth. I'll catch y'all later for something.